What's going on, everyone? This is Evony Jesus coming to you from server 1143. This is a new channel and this happens to be my first video, but rather than giving y'all an intro as to who I am and why I'm doing this, I'm just going to get into the details of the video. This channel is dedicated to helping small players and non-coiners play effectively in the mobile game Evony the King's Return. Today we're going to be looking at one of the most important things players of all sizes can do to assist their team, their alliance, and their server in critical moments such as BOC and SVS. And that is the use of a proper layers march. So the first question I'm sure you're wondering is, what is layers march? And it's really straightforward. And even players as small as K27 can contribute meaningfully to alliance efforts with one of these. As I'm sure you all already know, when participating in PvP in Evony, it is critical that you have layers on both offense and defense. And so what this means is that you're sending a small amount of every tier and every troop type you have open in addition to your main attacking troops. And so we are currently looking at my baseline Archer PvP March. And as you can see, I've got 100 T14 ground, 100 T14 calves, and 100 T14 siege, accompanying my 300,000 T14 archers. And this trend continues all the way down. It stays the same with T13 archers. I've got 300,000, but for ground, cavalry, and siege, I've only got 100. And continues to T12, where I've got 735,800 T12 archers, and everything else in the march, with the exception of a few special archer layers, are 100 troops. This is a pretty standard build for an archer PvP march, but we're here to discuss what an actual layers march is. And so that's pretty straightforward. We're going to skip over to my preset number 2. And here you can see I've got two pretty baseline generals, Alfred at 648,000 power and Scipio at 3.3 million. Neither one of them have a significant amount of gear on them. Certainly nothing that is considered PvP ready. They're very different generals from each other, Alfred being an archer general, Scipio being a ground general. Really, as long as you've got generals on the march, that's really about all that matters. And for a layers march, we're going to be going with 1,000 of every troop and every tier type. So as you can see, I've got all T14 troops open. So I've got 1,000 ground, 1,000 archers, 1,000 calves, and 1,000 siege. And going all the way down, all the way through T1, every single troop type and every single troop tier should have 1,000 of each troop. Now, this is a little bit heavier than on my Archer PvP March, which, as we saw earlier, only has 1,000 or 100 of each in its layers. The reason we want this to be a little bit heavier is that since we're not sending main PvP generals, we want them to have a little bit more bulk behind them, a little bit more support, and just in case somebody like me is attacking, who has smaller layers, these will survive a little bit better when we are getting into the different rounds of battle. As we said earlier, these aren't going with real generals. These are only layers that we're sending in order to increase the number of rounds of battle in the rally or defense that we are putting on. And so we want to make sure that we're sending enough to make that count. Now we need to go over what this is going to be used for and what it does. And so I'm going to be using Throne as a really good example, as well as defense as an example of what this is for. If you're sending troops to reinforce Throne when you're playing defense in SVS, and you've got 6 real marches of troops, 6 PvP marches in there, probably 2 or 3 ground and 2 or 3 archer marches making up the bulk of the PvP reinforcements within Throne, it's going to highly benefit you and your alliance to send 10, 15, 20 of these layers marches in with those PvP marches rather than a 7th or an 8th PvP march, because these layers marches are going to create additional rounds of battle when they are defending against an attack. And so what that means is that when somebody is sending in a rally with 6 or 7 PvP marches in it, they are having additional rounds of battle having to cut through your layers marches that are defending throne in addition to the main PvP marches, which gives those main PvP marches more time to kill those troops before they're killed. If you want some really incredible breakdown on how the mechanics actually works, I definitely recommend you go look at Derek Defy's channel. He's done some incredible PvP videos that have really built the basis of this report, or of this video, and it goes way more in depth than I'll be able to. But like I said, these layers marches are going to create additional rounds of battle that are going to give your main troops that are defending the capability to really hold on a lot longer than they otherwise might have. On the flip side of that, if your server is like mine, where we play defense by playing offense and let somebody else come take our throne if they choose to try, and then we rally them out, this works on offense as well. If you're rallying somebody out of your throne, you want to have, again, your 5, 6, 7, however many main PvP marches within the rally, and then have as many people join with these layers marches as they possibly can. It's going to increase the rounds of battle. It's going to make sure that your rally is more successful than if it didn't have these layers marches, and give you more ability to clear those troops with fewer losses. Within individual gameplay, if you're playing on temples or something, and you've got your main account playing, you can also have an alt join a rally against a temple really quickly with a layers march, in order to make sure that your main troop is doing a lot more damage. Again, Derek has shown the effectiveness of this as it applies to barbarians, and the same concept applies to PvP as well. So you're going to have additional rounds, you're going to do more damage, and on defense, the more reinforcements that you have of layers marches, the more hits you're going to be able to take before you get taken out. It's going to create more rounds of battle, you're going to lose less troops, and it's really going to help make a difference. So as a small player, the best thing you can do is really have one main PvP march, like that archer march that we went over a little while ago, and then have the ability to ghost your entire keep within 1 or 2 marches, so that you've got space to be able to continue sending another 2 or 3 layers marches, either to your bigger alliance members, or to join a rally on throne, or to reinforce somebody that can't ghost. These are definitely going to give y'all the ability to take more hits than you otherwise would have, and deal more damage than you otherwise would have, and really give you as a smaller player the opportunity to meaningfully contribute to something that otherwise you might not be able to. And so over the next few weeks, I'm going to be doing some additional videos on this subject as well, that really goes into some reports on this. And I'm also going to be making some additional videos on how to play smart and make meaningful contributions as a player in this game who really doesn't spend a ton of money. Even free-to-play players can have a major impact if they play smart, and I'm here to help you all do that. So thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment on this video, and let me know what you want to see. I'd be happy to work it into the plan. Thanks.